Hi, my name is Kate Wallace. I am 31 years old and I live in Jacksonville. I'd like to tell you how tithing has impacted my life. So when I was in college, I knew I wanted to work in government affairs, and I had the opportunity to intern both with Congress and the White House. They were great experiences that led to a job right out of college in Washington, D.C. And I love living and working there, but unfortunately the political wind shifted in 2008 and the recession hit all at one time, and I found myself out of a job. And after months of a tumultuous search, I was not able to come up with a new job, and I had to move back here to Florida, where I was from, to try to find a job in politics here. And luckily, in September of 2009, I found a job in Jacksonville and have lived here most of that time since. And that Thanksgiving of 2009, I was at Good News Church that Sunday celebrating with my parents, and Smiley gave a message about radical generosity that was going to change my life from that point forward. So the timing of that message was perfect because understandably I'd been very grateful to God. I'd gone through that long search. I had to leave all of my friends and that great life in DC, disrupt all that, move back down to Florida and start over. And it was just wonderful to be resituated and to be gainfully employed after going through that. So I learned a couple of valuable lessons that day. And just for some context, I grew up in a Christian home, went to church my whole life, had parents who were shining examples of generosity and always reiterated generosity to me. But I wasn't at a point in my adulthood yet where I felt like it was time to take those same steps. So that day I learned two major points. One was that anybody was in the position to tithe. And, I was 24 at the time that I heard that, and I wasn't making very much money. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, I'll do that, but maybe when I'm making more money, or when I'm older, or when I'm married and I have my husband's income to supplement mine, we can pull that together and make that happen, but not right now, not yet. And the second thing I learned that Smiley talked about was, do you believe what the Bible says? And if you believe the Bible, and he very clearly made the biblical case for why it is we ought to tithe. If you really believe it, then maybe it's time to let your belief of what the Bible teaches inform your actions. And so after that day, I decided to make a change, and I had a new life in Jacksonville, and I thought, rather than build a life and my finances that would crowd out giving, that instead I was going to build it all around giving. And made that decision to start it up, I guess that December, and been doing it ever since. And what I can tell you is that I've never looked back. And I really truly believe this, that because I've chosen to be faithful with my resources, that my life has been blessed in ways that I never thought possible. I've seen gains both in my personal life and in my professional life. I've had some setbacks. For example, I was laid off from another job, but I never missed a paycheck. I was able to bounce right back and find another job and keep on going. And I have been able to tell my story to a lot of people and hopefully inspire them to do the same thing. And what I've learned is every resource that I have came from God. So what is it to us to pay Him first before we are to do what we want to do with the rest of our resources? And I encourage you to make the same consideration. God is faithful, and He wants you to use His blessings that He's afforded you to glorify Him. Thank you.